Good morning. Welcome to Unity Spirituality with open hearts and open minds. I'm so thrilled whether you're here in person or joining us on Zoom. We are of one heart and one accord. Wherever our bodies are, our souls are united as one in true unity and love and grace. And we were just playing a beautiful piece by Simon, and yesterday for Simon's birthday. So Simon, we love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you, and we send blessings for your coming year. Simon! I'll call him and let him know that we sent him a big blessing this morning. Oh, and so I'd like to open with a wonderful piece that is a beautiful prayer that comes from John Philip Newell's book, Praying with the Earth, a prayer of awareness. And so I'm going to read this, so just open to receive it, and then we'll sing Come Light, Light of God. As we light the Christ candle here, you all light your Christ candles at home, and we recognize and honor the divine light in each and every one of us and all of creation. A prayer of awareness. Light within all light, soul behind all souls. At the breaking of dawn, at the coming of day, we wait and watch. Your light within the morning light. Your soul within the human soul. Your presence beckoning to us from the heart of life. In the dawning of this day, let us know fresh shinings in our soul. In the growing colors of new beginnings all around us, let us know the first lights of our heart, great star of the morning, inner flame of the universe. Let us be a color in this new dawning. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. I now invite you to stand here in Sanctuary and there at home if you'd like. And we're going to sing the beautiful song, I Am Home, that the first time I heard it, I wept, and it still sometimes chokes me up because in Unity, I truly found a spiritual home, but not only a spiritual home, a whole spiritual family. So we'll do I Am Home and then I Am Light.
And I Am a Light is a call and response. So I will give the call, and Trudy is going to lead you in your response. So sing with Trudy. Okay? and I think the words are there, or you can just listen and repeat. Yeah. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
I'm living love every day.
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 Spreading peace along the way.
Spreading peace along the way.
Right time,
Right time,
right place.
right place.
Living love
Living love
every day.
every day.
We're going to pick it up a little bit. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Woo! Please be seated.
I just love it when she does that. Thank you, ladies. Well, this is Labor Day weekend. So, does anybody know what year Labor Day was officially became a holiday? 1894. One of the first holidays recognized. And it was recognition of the labor that we put in to make this country what it is. You know, from the farmers to the machinists to all the rest of them. So I got a couple quotes, and it leads into something else, so hold on. So let the beauty of what you love be what you do. That was from Rumi. Let the beauty of what you are, what you love, be what you do. The more you want to get something done, the less I call it work. The more I want to get something done, the less I call it work. Wayne Dyer. Work gives you meaning, and purpose in life is empty without it. Stephen Hawkins. The supreme accomplishment is to blur the lines between work and play. Oprah. And while my working days are over, the work of my days are not. David. And from the psalmist, you will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. We have so much more to sow and so much more to reap. And yeah, from the other David. So I was gifted this little book called Be Still and Know. It's a daily devotional thing. And so I was talking about Labor Day and thinking about all these things, and this popped up. I just love it how the Spirit works. Then one day in the moment of quiet, Spirit whispered to me, "This is it. What you are doing is what you are called to do. Do your work, love your neighbor, serve people, seek me first, and everything in your heart that you long for will be fulfilled. Be faithful right where I have put you. You don't need to accomplish great things for me. Just be who you are." And that leads us right into the daily word. Ease. Behold, God in every circumstance helps me know ease. Just be who you are. It is easy for me to find God in the glory of a sunrise or in the laughter of children, and to feel God's love as I get together with family and friends. Whenever there is wonder, joy, or fellowship, God is surely present. However, I also need to remember that God is just surely present when my responsibilities feel overwhelming, when conflict arises in my relationships, and when it feels as though there isn't enough of what I need. If I begin to feel tense, fearful, and frustrated, I remember that the wisdom, love, understanding, and strength, all those divine qualities that live within me, are ready to help me handle any challenge. Assured by the awareness of God's presence, I move with ease and grace through whatever my day may bring. And from Proverbs, those who listen to me will be secure and will live at ease without dread of disaster. Ease. Behold, God in every circumstance helps you be at ease. And so it is.
So we're blessed to shift now into a time of prayer and meditation together. Oh, I invite you to just settle in now and let the outer world fade away and just settle into that inner sanctuary, that place of peace and protection and renewal, restoration, hope, love, presence. We'll sing Sanctuary and allow our voices and the words of the song to carry us deep within. And at the end of the meditation, we'll allow those same words to bring us back out into this physical sanctuary, but into the sanctuaries that are our lives. Sanctuary.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you.
So settle in, allowing your breathing to slow. With your energy, and then exhaling and sending those blessings, your presence, out into the world. Breathing in nourishment and support, allowing it to bless you, You add your blessings to it and then send it back out into the world. Life energy moving in and through and as us. Our bodies are amazing things. We breathe and our hearts beat without us having to consciously remind them to do that. Each breath is a recommitment to being present in the world. Each heartbeat is a heartbeat attuned to life itself. Feel your presence here and now as a beloved child of God. Each one of us sent with unique gifts to share, to be infilled with the in-breath of life, and that to add our blessings, our gift, our presence, our very work and play to the world. So many times that in-breath and out-breath are not equally balanced. We're so focused on what we need to be doing that we forget to allow ourselves to be infilled with life, to be who we've been sent to be. So take a moment now and allow yourself to reconnect with the unique spark of divine light that you are. Irreplaceable, unlike any other soul that has ever been present in this moment. With your life experiences, with your perceptions, with your fears, with your hopes. Allow yourself to be present in this moment and to feel that deeper expression of who you are. We truly are eternal beings having an earthly experience for a divine reason. Eternal spiritual beings. Let that sink in for a moment. Having an earthly experience. Let that sink in. For a divine reason. Let that one sink in as well. We come to this realm to be present, to not only offer our gifts, but to receive the gifts of others, to allow that dance of spirit between our souls, our minds, our hearts, and our bodies. Each one of us is special and unique. So in this moment, open to receive the gift of a piece from To Bless the Space Between Us by John O'Donohue. Hear these words and let them nourish you at every level of being. As high over the mountains the eagle spreads its wings, may your perspective be larger than the view from the foothills. When the way is flat and dull in times of gray endurance, may your imagination continue to evoke horizons. When thirst burns in times of drought, may you be blessed to find the wells. May you have the wisdom to read time clearly and know when the seed of change will flourish. In your heart, may there be a sanctuary for the stillness where clarity is born. May your work be infused with passion and creativity, and have the wisdom to balance compassion and change. May your soul find the graciousness to rise above small mediocrities. May your power never become a shell wherein your heart would silently atrophy. May you welcome your own vulnerabilities as the grounds where healing and truth join. And may integrity of the soul be your first ideal, the source that will guide and bless your work. And may integrity of soul be your first ideal, the source that will guide and bless your work. That work is the greater work of your soul while in this earthly experience. And so allow Spirit to meet you right where you are, to evoke new horizons, higher perspectives. If you're thirsty, find the well. Trust timing. Be willing to be present. Know fresh shinings in your soul, first lights of your heart, and open to be a color in the dawning of your own life each day. Allow Spirit now to simply enfold you with its presence, bringing comfort and strength, compassion and love, wisdom and perception, and grace and peace. And from this place of blessing, I invite you now to uplift all of the prayers that are yours this day for yourself and others, this spiritual family, our community, our nation, our world, and the realms beyond. Uplift your prayers now and feel us uplifting them with you. We add to these all the prayers entrusted to the High Watch prayer chaplains. We uplift Rhonda as she continues to recover from her hip surgery and will return home this week. And we do so, enfolding all of these prayers with a great prayer of highest and best for all in right and perfect time. And thus we release these, surrendering them to Spirit, to the unfoldings of the universe. And we stand together to watch the miracles unfold this day and in the days yet to come. As we have prayed, so it shall be done. Highest and best for all, and right and perfect time. And with this faith, we willingly and openly return to the outer sanctuary of our lives, renewed renewed, restored, and rededicated. And we link inner and outer lives as one as we sing Sanctuary, allowing us to be drawn back into this place, this sanctuary we call unity.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you.
And so it is. Teresa, would you go back and get ready to flip on the switch on that back wall there? I love the prayer from this morning. Know fresh shinings in your soul, the first lights of your heart, and be a color and a light in the new dawning. You are the lights of the world. And our special music is There Is a Light with Clara and Trudy. Yay!
There is a light that guides you through the storms. There is a place of healing and calm. There is a peace that lives beneath the waves, beneath the sorrows and the joys. There is a stillness and grace. Your tears like rain are falling from the skies. It is God's love that's pouring just like rain are fallen from the skies. It is God's love awakening your sight. The wounds of life, they bring healing, my friend. The heart that breaks is but opening again. The heart that breaks is but opening again. There is a light. There is a light.
Thank you. Wasn't that beautiful? Whoa, yes. Oh, it's a great song, great voice, and great musician. Oh, isn't that wonderful? That's work, but it's also joy. If we could link those more. When I think about Labor Day every year, my first thought to this day is 9 to 5, what do you do for a job? It's so much more than that. It's what do you do with your time, your talent, your treasures, your energy in the work of your soul, not just the work of your career. And I'm one of those people that I feel very, very blessed. I've had 3 different careers. I was a teacher of the multi-handicapped deaf, and then I went back to school and became a nurse and ended up specializing in rehabilitation for severe illnesses and injuries for children and adults. And then I became a volunteer chaplain at Parkland Hospital, was one of 8 people that they trained, and then did chaplain studies and then went to Unity Ministerial School. My dad, when I first was going to go from special ed into nursing, he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "You can't switch careers." He said, "You need to get higher degrees in what you're already doing." Well, my audiology professor said, "If you'll study audiology, I'll give you a full ride scholarship. You'll be my PA. You know, what would you do?" And it sounded wonderful, but I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. I knew it wasn't right. So I ended up going and teaching for 5 years. And one of my first students was someone that when I was still in college, I worked with, a little boy named Rudy Navarro, who was 8 years old, born deaf and blind and multi-handicapped. That was part of my soul assignment this time, was to be present with him. I was there the first time he made that link. If anybody's ever seen The Miracle Worker about Helen Keller, that made that link between a sign and what it meant. For him, it was push, swing. You just saw the light go on. Push, to this day, that makes my heart sing. And so I've been doing this, and my dad is like, "Pam, I came back from World War II. I got my bachelor's, my master's, my PhD in finance. You're not supposed to do," and it was like, I have to trust the guidance. And they said, "Okay, you work as a nurse's aide for the summer, do the scut work, see how you do, and if at the end of that you're still committed, we'll support you in going back to school." So I was off for the summer for a couple of months from teaching, And I went and did that. And at the end of that time, they said, "Are you done with that now?" And I went, "Nope, I need to do it even more." And my mother said, she said, "You have such a tender heart. How can you be a nurse? It will break your heart every day." And I remember thinking about that, and I said, "No, what would break my heart is not being there to help. Because that situation's going to be there, whether I'm there or not." And so that was that next soul calling. Bless his heart, I married Lane. We were married, lived in Texas for years with the agreement that at some point we'd live somewhere else. And then Unity of Port Townsend came up. We came to visit our good friends Sarah and Jim, and I got to guest speak 2 Sundays, and you all were looking for a minister. And the rest is history. 18 and a half years later, here we are. And that I knew was a divine appointment. And going through that process, as Lane and I navigated, how do we decide to do this? How do we work our marriage around living in 2 places for a while? We had done that when we dated. We met just before I went to ministerial school. I said, "We've got that part down. We know how to love each other and stay connected from afar." And so together we made that decision. And for me, I'm blessed in that what I do is soul work. You talked about where joy and play and work kind of come together. And there are times I get exhausted. I want to thank you all for supporting me this last month in taking Sunday messages off. I needed some time for that in-breath. And I've done pastoral stuff and all the administrative stuff and helped cover the office, but it's different than the energy that it takes to create a message for you all that hopefully inspires you each week. And so I want to thank you all for the love that you have for me, as well as the love I have for you that let you all gift me with that. The board, incredibly supportive. Every one of you that I've talked to said, "Thank heavens you took some time." Doing our soul work can take many different forms, many different shapes at different points in our lives. I just talked about my career, but I also personally, friends, family. I always wanted to have children, but I was unable to because of a physical condition that was a hormonal imbalance that would not let me have children. And so I just prayed that when the time was right, somehow it would work out. I heard Barbara Marks Hubbard speak at Unity Village, and she said, "This is a time of consciousness change where women, there are some women who are going to go from procreation into co-creation. And one's not better than the other. It's you're going to take that generative creative energy and do something different with it." That was so true. My whole career has been one of service and basically mothering in so many different ways. And then I was blessed to meet Lane, who had 4 grown kids with their partners and then grandkids, and now we've got great-grandkids. And one daughter arrived yesterday from Texas, and the other one's coming in on Tuesday. And so the soul work of doing family together, soul work. Take that word work and let it just expand out. Take it out of the puritanical work ethic mode that so much of our country was based on. Let it recognize that work is sometimes, your soul work is picking up the phone and calling somebody who comes across your heart that might need a call. That is just as important as clocking in and doing what is yours to do at a traditional job. It's all part of divine creation. As I was sitting here and you all were playing, I was thinking something as simple as a potato. We look at a potato and oh, good, dinner. But when you think about all of the hands that were part of that potato coming into being, growing up, being harvested, being transported, being put out for me to buy it at the grocery store, check out, take it home, and cook it in an oven that somebody else created, from all kinds of ideas, you realize how incredibly linked everything is. And we tend to compartmentalize. And I think one of the great gifts of Teilhard de Chardin is to realize that everything is interwoven. Everything is interwoven. How we play, how we work, how we sing, how we dance, how we cry, how we howl at the moon. It's all interwoven in life. And so I invite you to look at your work as, what is it you do? What do you really, when it comes down to it, with your time and your energy and your talents, what do you seek to do with it? What floats your boat? What makes your heart sing? And too often we're so concerned with the shoulds that we forget to do the coulds, the possibilities, and being able to get past other people's expectations of what work and success looks like. My dad supported me in making the shift, and then he was basically an agnostic. And so I'm sitting there at breakfast with my parents. I'd gotten laid off from my corporate job and gone to Unity Village for a month, and came back and went back for another month, and then got guidance I needed to apply for ministerial school. So I'm sitting at breakfast over coffee with my dad, my Virgo logical dad, and I said, I think I'm going to go back to school. And he said, oh. And I said, I just love everything about Unity. I said, I thought I'd be a licensed Unity teacher. That was my goal. And then I got very clear guidance from my dad in spirit after he died. This is yours to do. But over that coffee table, he said something that I have kept with me my whole life, which is, he said, honey, he said, last time when you wanted to change careers, I thought you were wrong. He said, you were right. He said, you've been here to help me. We were hospicing him at that point. And he said, you were meant to do that. And so if you feel like there's something else you need to do, go do it. He had wanted to be a symphonic conductor. And then he went off to World War II, became a pilot, came back and thought, oh, I need something more practical. So he let that go. And at the end of his life, he said, honey, he said, the only thing you'll regret are not the things you do, it's the things you don't do, that you're called to do. He said, try it. If it doesn't work out, you can always go back and do what you did before. What's calling you? It may be a big leap, it may be a little tiny leap. Little leaps are just as important as the big ones, because they move us on a path of faith and expressing the presence of the divine. So work, a big term. Teilhard de Chardin was one like me that had multiple careers. He was a scientist, he was a Jesuit priest, and then became a writer and a mystic. He lived from 1881 to 1955. And he is one of my great heroes, because he believed that the kingdom of heaven, as Jesus says in the scriptures, is all around, closer than hands and feet and within us. He believed that everything held divine light. So he got in a lot of trouble with the Jesuits and the Catholic Church because he didn't believe in original sin. He believed in what Matthew Fox later called original blessing, which also got him excommunicated. And so he believed, he said, up until now, you either love earth or you love heaven. And he said, no, you look at all the world's spiritual traditions, you look at the scriptures that our Christianity is based on, and it's not this or this, it's and. It's all the same. The masters of all the traditions have tried to share and show us that light that infills everything with the life force, the energy, the expression that it is. The quantum physicists now say everything are sparks of light. This is slowed down, dense light that happened to take this form. I really like it. But it was a tree at one point. Things can change and take form. And I love when the quantum physicists just get blown away in their work and they realize something that was here suddenly is over there and they have no idea how it got there. The quarks. Creative energy that's sparking all around. Teilhard de Chardin said, at the heart of matter is the heart of God. At the heart of matter is at the heart of God. And he said, leave the surface and without leaving the world, plunge into God. Isn't that beautiful? Don't leave the world. Be in the world, but not of the world. See it with a higher perspective. See it with deeper meaning. And this is something you can do for whatever your soul work is as well. At the heart of the matter of your life is the soul work you've been sent to do. Leave the surface appearance of what you call work or don't call work and dive more deeply into what is this expressing for you, as you, through you. And then recognize that that truly is the presence of the divine in that moment. I got a wonderful card this week from Barbara and Bob Gray, hello, down in Oregon. And with their wonderful love offering, they sent this card, and here was what was in it. A quote from Albert Einstein. Sounds very much like Teilhard de Chardin. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Isn't that wonderful? Look into nature and you'll understand everything better. In the animal kingdom, animals do what they naturally were created to do. They have their own work. It's fascinating if you study ants, the little worker ants, bee kingdom, all of the different animals. The deer here in town, we have lots of those to watch. And they're not going, oh my gosh, I've got to go to work today. I'm stepping into life. If we could do life with more of that energy, how wonderful it would be. Whether we're taking care of loved ones or we're out in the world being active in something that we believe in, those are places where we take our time, our talents, our treasures, our energy, and connect with the world. And that's what we're here to do. And if we don't do that, we might as well not be here. And each one of us is unique. I've always loved that if there was another one just like you, one of you's redundant. And St. Francis talked about how the birds sing these beautiful songs. And one of the reasons they sing, which is their work, so clearly is that none of them are going, uh-oh, I don't sing as good as you do. They just sing their voices We get so caught up in outer appearances and judgments that it's really important to center in your own truth, your own unique soul calling. And from that place of centeredness, then lead your life and offer your gifts out to the world. I had something that happened to me when I was doing my talk at Unity. The second year of ministerial school, everybody has to do a Sunday talk and plan a service. We were all absolutely terrified. That's when we really got, we're going to be doing this like all the time. We're going to have to stand up in front of people and do this. As the kid who dropped all of her index cards on the floor in junior high, picked them up and just read them non-sequentially because I was so scared, and I swore I would never speak in public ever again. I debated with this a lot with God. I'll pray a lot, but don't make me do it aloud with anybody. As a chaplain, my first prayers, I was put out on the unit and they said, go pray with people. I went and prayed with a guy who was comatose. That seems safer to start with. I moved up from there in terms of my courage level, but I was doing this service for ministerial school, and two things happened. The first thing that happened was I'd ask my advisor, who was German and very harsh. She was very tough. She terrified the guys who'd been IBM execs. She became my advisor. I was one of two that got her. I was scared to death. Turns out she loved to study Jung. She and I clicked. She became my guide and a dear friend by the end of school. We went out to lunch after I graduated and said, we're now officially friends. But I was terrified of her at first. So my service comes, I said, please, will you read a passage of scripture for me? And it was the one from 1 Corinthians 13. And it's even though you move through all these things, you still express love. And she said, what version do you want? And I said, you pick it. I trust you to pick the right one. And I'm sitting there listening in prayer, and she reads the passage, and it's even though I pass through the fire, love endures. I had some past life remembrances or some archetypal remembrances of fear of what happened when I used my voice. In that moment, it was like, wow, I survived that, I'm back, and I can still be love in the world. So that finishes, and I think, wow, I just had my aha soul unfolding moment in my chapel service. And then I get up and I'm doing my message, reading my outline, probably clutching the podium. That's how I started. And I look back, and two of my classmates in the back, who were the ones that were always kind of snarky. Even in ministerial school, you have people who are a little snarky. Back in the back, the two that were frequently snarky about things were talking and laughing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm giving a horrible message. They're laughing at me. Oh my gosh, what do I do? And it was like the room stopped. And Spirit said, Pam, if you're not willing to stand in your truth, regardless of what people are saying, then pick up your script, walk down the aisle, and leave. Are you willing to stand in your truth, even when it's hard? Took me a second. Yes, I am. And then it was like I just picked up my talk. I later watched the video because I was sure there was this time where I was going, love is da 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 da. Love is da 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 da. There was not a pause. It was a moment outside of time and space that called me to what he said in this piece, this integrity. May integrity of your soul be your first ideal, the source that will guide and bless your work. So I was like, wow. Okay, I'm going to, and I've remembered that for almost 30 years ago when I was ordained, 28 years ago now. And the interesting thing was the next day I go to class and I've had this aha about it doesn't matter if people are laughing at me. I need to have the courage. And I come in and those two classmates come up to the coffee pot where we're pouring coffee. They said, Pam, we want to apologize for yesterday. She had just gotten a letter from her son, who she hadn't heard from in forever, and it had a really funny piece in it, and they were laughing about the card. It had nothing to do with me at all. How often have all of us, I know I continue to have to strive with this, allowed that outer perception of work and what's right and how it's supposed to look and what you're supposed to do dictate how you are living your uniquely, divinely gifted life. And so I invite you this Labor Day weekend to see, another term for labor is giving birth. Allow your labors, your work, to expand your perception of who you are and the gifts you are here to bring. And allow yourself to labor and work in giving birth to new things. Have the courage, and it takes courage. Every Sunday I have to take a breath before I stand up here and center and just ask to be a channel to do what I've been sent to do and to be as clear as I can with that. Each one of us gets to do that every day, no matter what kind of work you do, however big or small, however exalted or seemingly lowly it may be. If it's done with love, with soul, with caring, there is no greater grace and gift that you can offer, not only to others, but to yourself. Because think about times in your life where you've trusted that inner guidance and you've done something and you've made a difference in the world. How wonderful that feels. One of the truly wonderful things is to not only share your gifts, but receive the gifts of others. Allow others to share and be willing to receive what they have to offer. And in that spirit, I want to thank Karen for the wonderful 2 messages she gave, and to Tom Drake for the amazing message he gave last Sunday. You all supported me. You're part of my in-breath, but I also honor and thank you for sharing your gifts, and that the board and all of you had the wisdom to let me breathe, because in that came these amazing gifts you wouldn't have received otherwise. We are so blessed to live in this world together. So this Labor Day, don't think 9 to 5, unless it's Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda and Dolly Parton. That's okay. That's job out of the box. Allow yourself to think about the energy of your life and consciously, what do you want to do moving forward with your time, your talent, your treasures, your touch, your presence, might just rearrange your life a little bit and be sure you have enough time for the in-breath, the holding, and the out-breath. Let us pray. Sweet, sweet Spirit, abiding presence of the divine, in you we truly live and move and have our being. Ah, but what a mystery it sometimes is. Let us open to embrace the mystery, to find our divinely appointed path, to have the courage to share the gifts that are ours to share, and the vulnerability to receive the gifts that others offer to us. May we see the great unfoldings of the world and the universe as works of the divine. May we see us and our lives as unfolding works of the divine. May we remember every day that at the heart of matter is the heart of God. At the heart of what we do with matter is the heartbeat of our own soul. For this time together that lets us be renewed, restored, and rededicated on this amazing journey we call life, we are so incredibly thankful. And we go forth blessed and blessing to practice the presence of the divine and having the joy of seeing it twinkling with little lights from everywhere we look. And so it is, Om, Amen, and blessed be. And now we're going to get to embody this by singing, I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Clara?
And I would like to invite you to, I thought, is this like too old-fashioned of a song? But I want you to invite you to think of heaven as that divine essence, that spark, that light that is in everything you lay your eyes on. Choosing to see that spark in, and that love and beauty in, whether it's a relationship, in the trees, and is the stone you look at just hard, cold rock, or is it a frozen song? Oh no, it's funny, I was concerned about singing heaven, because
Yeah.
old ideas and feelings don't have to. And if it's uncomfortable for you, put a different word in. And I'll warn you, I probably mixed some of the words up, so I invite you to do the same thing. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Choosing love, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now, singing I'm choosing love today. Beauty, I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing beauty today. I am walking the road of beauty today now, singing I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace today. I am walking the road of grace right now, singing I'm choosing grace today. Choosing life, I'm choosing life today. I'm choosing life today. I am walking the road of life today now, singing I'm choosing life today. I choose
Woohoo! Thank you. That's a great song. I was thinking of those deer you were talking about. In my neighborhood, they browse their day through all the gardens that are available to them, and they have a tongue that's about that long. They can snake through the fence, grab the raspberry bush, strip all the leaves, eat all the raspberries, and stick it back in. It's just amazing.
We'll try again.
You gotta love them. We got enough of them to love. This is the time of our service where we receive the offering, so I invite you to take out your offering as you prepare for receiving that. And we do a blessing of that offering. I think it's in the bulletin each week. And I always try to remind people that it's really a statement about everything we've talked about, that we live and move and have our being in spirit. Everything that comes through us, flows through us, goes out. All of our work, all of our labors, everything is divinely created, one place or another. So when you think about your offering and how it starts out divine love as me. Then everything else flows from that. And it's divine love flowing through us that all the rest is created. So let us bless our offering in that respect. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful indeed.
Holy, 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 my heart adores you. My heart is glad to say the words, you are holy, Lord. Holy, 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 my heart adores you. My heart is glad to say the words, you are holy, Lord. Holy, holy, my heart adores you. My heart is glad to say the words, you are holy, Lord.
Sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God, here we are, walking on heaven's doorstep, right here, right now. We receive these gifts and send them forward that each person may feel that each step where they stand is holy ground. Each step they take is purposeful, all leading to the same place. And may we do that in harmony with one another. Be grace in action, being kind and considerate, allowing and evolving to the place that indeed we create heaven on earth. That is our task. And as we do that, let us do that in our lifetime, that all of humanity may experience the oneness of our Creator, experience the love that they are, and know the truth of their being. So we send these gifts forward with that accord and say, thank you, God, for all the blessings. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so this is, as I get ready for the announcements, if you are at home on Zoom and you have a September birthday or anniversary, please put it in the chat box and we'll just acknowledge it. And then if you have a September birthday here in the audience, we'll catch you here after the announcements. Okay, chat box checker.
Zoom person.
We got the chat box checker back there. Okay. So, here we go. We have new and improved and hopefully corrected activity cards. So these are for your refrigerator. So think of salmon color for the month of September. because it's all here, unless I say something different. We have classes. Pam's starting her class again starting up again. They took a break through August. 10:30 on Tuesdays. It's a Zoom class. There's a link on the website, and it's she switched between two books, one on Mary Magdalene and one on the Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul, which is the book of our this year. So this week it's going to be Mary Magdalene. Next week will be the Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul. So anyway, drop in. It's just all of these classes are drop in. Nobody's going to think you're crazy just for showing up to see what the heck you guys are really talking about. It's perfectly okay. Tom Drake is going to start his series on the storm before the calm. Neil Donald Walsh's work and the Conversations with Humanity series. And that's coming up on September 21st, which is right around the corner. Neil's book is on sale in the library, and it's, so feel free to take advantage of that. It's going to be a Zoom/in-person class, hybrid. It'll be September 21st at 10 o'clock, 10 to noon, and I think it's a Wednesday. Yeah, a Wednesday. So, and following right behind that, if that's not exciting enough, Karen is going to lead a discussion on spiritual economics written by Eric Butterworth. And that is a seminal piece of writing. So that's even if you don't get to take the class, get the book. And the discussion book, I think, is going to be really good around that. Spiritual economics is a classic. And let's see what else we got. We got something. Oh, Karen's going to do, that's a Sunday morning. Excuse me. That's a Sunday morning class. Yeah, on the 25th, starting at the end of the month, 9:30 to 10:30, correct? Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure of it. And finally, I'd like to remind everybody of the prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. Your prayer requests will be held by the church for 30 days, and we send them on to Silent Unity for 30 days. Excuse me. Let me try that back. The church will hold them in prayer for a week, and then we send them on to Silent Unity for 30 days additional prayer. In addition, if you have anything you want to pray about with a live human being, I'm one. Mary may be another one. Teresa might be another one. Sharon might be another one. We would be happy to pray with you, and just meet us back in the chapel. Grab one of us, and we'll be happy to pray with you. There's really a lot of power in both writing your prayers out, but more importantly, to speaking them with another person. And so the prayer chaplains are here for that purpose. So feel free to take advantage of that. That's it for announcements. I invite you to join in the circle. And any of you that have a September or birthday or anniversary, meet me right here in the middle, and I will explain what's going on. We got one.
Nobody online.
Nobody online's got one. I gotta have more than one. We do have more than one. We got two? Okay. We're going to sing to you. I know, just get your heart going. There we go. It's all the divine. I'm going to be over here, though.
You
are the
face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Yay. And Simon was right in the middle, too.
Right.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes.
we know the light of God
God
surrounds
surrounds
us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And as Pam brings out the singing bell, I will go up here ready to blow out the candle and know that as the light of God we shine, as the love of God we embrace, as the power of God we stand in truth, and as the presence of God we endeavor to express our divinity in all that we do.
So feel the blessings of this. Let it move through you and go forth to the world.
Now our speaker test.
Ooh, deep today. I always love how it sounds different each week. Thank you. Go forth blessed and blessing. Happy Labor Day weekend.